Welcome back to my YouTube channel English Study Class. In this session, let us know the syllabus overview. English syllabus for language English of second semester, BA, BSW, B Music, BEA, BVA and other courses under the Faculty of Arts as per NEP 2020 of Bangalore University and Bangalore North University for the academic year 2021 onwards. And by the way, this is Professor Venkatramu B.R. Assistant Professor of English at Government First Grade College, Gudibande. Friends, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications and never forget to like my video and share it to your friends. Let's jump into the content of this session. Friends, this syllabus has two parts. Part 1 is basically a workbook. Part 2 is the course. In part 1, we have 2 units. Unit 1 is called receptive skills. Unit 2 is called productive skills. Under this receptive skills, the 2 important skills that we are going to learn are reading skills and listening skills. What are the components we are learning in reading skills and listening skills? Yeah, you want to know that? Let us know it chapter by chapter. The first chapter in this syllabus is read the passage and identify the theme. The second chapter is read to improve vocabulary, synonyms, antonyms, prefixes, suffixes, and collocations. The third chapter is listening as a primary skill. The fourth chapter is listen and repeat, listen and narrate, listen and analyze the poem. The fifth chapter is vocabulary building. Let us jump on to Unit 2, the productive skills. Under the skills, we are going to learn speaking skills and writing skills. What are the components that we are learning in speaking skills and writing skills? Let us know chapter by chapter. The 6th chapter in this syllabus is reported speech. The 7th chapter is dialogue writing. The 8th chapter is verbal and non-verbal communication. The 9th chapter is creative writing. 10th chapter is essay writing. 11th chapter is writing a speech. This part 2 or in this course book, we have 5 chapters. Let us know the important things in each chapter. The first chapter is titled as The Worm. It is a poem by Nizam Ezekiel. In this poem, the speaker recalls an event in which he found a worm on the ground after it had rained. The worm was moving with astonishing strength. Even though the worms are blind, the worm's intuition or inner eye was helping it move where it wanted to go. The fact that the worm follows a straight trajectory causes the speaker to exclaim to God, "It moved so straight, oh God!" The speaker then compares himself to the worm. In contrast to the worm, he gets where he is going through absurd and devious routes. Then he asks a rhetorical question, where he can find a worm that is blinder than himself, who is both blind and monstrously incapable of being blind. The speaker characterizes this worm, which is paradoxically blinder than and not as blind as the speaker, moving according to its instincts and completely free. Out of contempt for the worm, the speaker crushes it to disregard the worm's victory over him. The speaker notes that the worm is dead and mocks it, asking it where its strength has gone. He notes that the God that made the worm wiser than the speaker will understand the speaker's decision to kill the worm as the anger of a man. The speaker concludes that he is most like the worm through his anger. He ends the poem with a repetition of his action. "I have killed the worm." Let us move to the second chapter. The second chapter is titled as The Boy Who Broke the Bank. It is by Ruskin Bond. The Boy Who Broke the Bank is a very interesting story written by Ruskin Bond. The story relates to the murmuring of a sweeper boy, Nathu, about the irregular payment of his salary. It takes the shape of a rumor and results in collapse of a bank. At the end of the story, Nathu, who is responsible for the whole episode, wonders innocently about the incident. Seth Govindram owns a financially very sound bank in Pipal Nagar town. It has won the trust of the depositors. Nathu is a sweeper in this bank One day he grumbles about the irregular payments of his salary by the bank authorities. Sitaram, the washerman's son, learns about Nathu's complaints. In his loose talks with Mrs. Srivatsava, Sitaram says that the bank could not pay its employees. Mrs. Srivatsava misunderstands Sitaram's statement. She believes that the Pipal Nagar bank is out to collapse. The rumor spreads like a wildfire in the entire town. The customers in shock demanded their money back. They start stoning the bank building and break the glasses. The next day, when Nathu goes to the bank for his duty, he finds a lot of broken glasses and stones. He wonders how it happened. He murmurs angrily that the bank authorities are not paying him regularly on one day and are also increasing his work. For him, the event is a mystery. Let's move on to chapter 3, The Two Friends by Geda Mapasant. The Two Friends is a powerful short story from the French master of writing stories, Geda Mapasant. It is about two friends who met in Paris while enjoying fishing together every Sunday at a river near the town. It was during the Franco-Prussian War that brought them sorrow, poverty, and hunger, taking away their everyday pleasure of life, freedom, and peace. As the war enraged them, they forgot about their passion, but one unexpected meeting refreshed their memories. They decided to go fishing again, although a rather dangerous thing to go in times of war, especially with their favorite fishing spot being set near the area occupied by the Prussian enemies. They still decided to enter this adventure for returning to their feeling of being a human being in a normal world, free and entitled to enjoy their lives. Unfortunately, their crucial trip ended fatally and led them directly to death. The main characters of this story are the common people who mostly suffered from the war. Their problem is the suffering and the hunger, the removal of their dignity, their right to remain free. Both of the main characters are people with small pleasures, never having too much, yet always having enough for living satisfied. They died by not putting shame upon their names, not betraying anyone, or acting like cowards, yet entering the death with a dignity. Let's move to the fourth chapter. The chapter is titled as All-Seeing Blind. It is by Abid Surti. The All-Seeing Blind is a short story written by a Gujarati writer, Abid Surti. He was born on 5th May 1935 and is a painter, author, cartoonist, journalist, environmentalist, playwright and screenwriter from India. Anil Sood translated this story from the Hindi translation. Abid Surti received the National Award for his short story collection Teesre Aankh in the year 1993. In 2007, the UP government awarded him the Hindi Sahitya Sabha Award. The All-Seeing Blind is a short story revolving around a visually challenged young man, Loknath Verma, who owns a telephone call booth on a street in Mumbai. Though he is blind, he is not helpless and can look after himself completely. The story depicts the humanity and the concern shown by a blind man who has transcended his handicap to reach out to the people in need. People with all their senses are so insensitive to the needs of people in trouble, but Loknath, being visually challenged, helps the needy. The compassion he shows for his fellow human beings puts him on a very high pedestal of humanity. The humanity and concern showed by a blind man who has transcended his handicap to reach out to the people in need. People with all their senses are so insensitive to the needs of the people in trouble. People with serious handicaps are so well attuned to the needy. Service gains a fine significance with this kind of help and compassion shown by a blind man. Let us come to the fifth chapter, titled as Kailash Satyarthi's Nobel Acceptance Speech. Kailash Satyarthi was born on 11th January 1954 in Vidisha, India. Children's rights activist Kailash Satyarthi was awarded the Nobel Prize for focusing attention on the grave exploitation of children for financial gain in the year 2014. The present lesson is his Nobel Prize acceptance speech. With a warm heart, he recalled how thousands of times he had been liberated each time he had freed a child from slavery. He said that he represented the sound of silence, a cry of innocence, and in the face of invisibility. He said that he had gone there to share the voices and dreams of children. He narrates his experience of meeting a small, skinny boy in the foothills of the Himalayas, a Sudanese child labor, a child mother from the streets of Colombia. Satyarthi says that there is no greater violence than denying the dreams of our children. The single aim of his life is that every child is free to be child, free to grow and develop, free to eat, sleep, see daylight, free to laugh and cry, free to play, free to learn, free to go to school, and above all, free to dream. He refuses to accept that the world is so poor. He refuses to accept that all the laws and constitutions and the judges and the police cannot protect our children. He further refuses to accept that the shackles of slavery can ever be stronger than the quest for freedom. The biggest crisis knocking on the doors of humanity is the lacuna of the present education system. He narrates the story of a terrible fire and a tiny bird and its significance. He says that one serious disconnect is a lack of compassion. He rescued Devli, born into intergenerational debt and bonded labor in India. He asks us to answer her hungry question. He elaborates on the steps to be taken by the government. He narrates another incident of meeting a cobbler boy of his age sitting at the school gate polishing shoes. He discusses the rights of the present day children. He asks us to democratize knowledge and universalize justice. He wishes to globalize compassion for our children together. Finally, he urges us to march from darkness to light, from morality to divinity.